lawfully entitled to tell the guy to turn the car off and put the car in park? Yes, he is. And that guy needs to obey his commands. Did that police officer need, root word of necessary, did that police officer need to go up in front of the car? No, there wasn't a need. So he was in front of the car, and he would have gotten squished, and he would have gotten run over by the guy. So that action, which has occurred in the U.S. in multiple places, including California, has been deemed to be reasonable, but definitely not necessary. So the police officer in that scenario wouldn't necessarily get criminally charged, but would the city, county, or agency wind up paying through the nose? Yeah, they're gonna pay. They're gonna pay. They're gonna pay a considerable amount. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, fantastic. Let's talk about deadly force. So you're sitting in court, and an attorney says to you, blah, 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 and you say, well, that's when I got my gun and I used deadly force. And the second you say those two words, deadly force, together, you're on the hook now for what it means. And it sounds simple, right? If we say deadly force, it's deadly and it's force, but we gotta go a little bit deeper than that. And we truly have to define it. So let's fill in these blanks right here so that everybody understands what deadly force is, what we're talking about, etc. So first off, deadly force is any force intentionally applied that a reasonable individual knows or should know can cause death or substantial bodily harm. It's any force intentionally applied that a reasonable individual knows or should know can cause death or substantial bodily harm. Give you guys that one more time. Any force intentionally applied that a reasonable individual knows or should know can cause death or substantial bodily harm. Let's deal with that first word right there. Any. Any. The easy ones are always the easy ones. The easy ones are always the easy ones. What do I mean by that? So a guy attacks you with a gun. Deadly force?
Oh yeah.
So easy. Super duper easy. Guy attacks you with a machete. Deadly force? So easy. Guy attacks Mike with a hand grenade. Easy, right? Guy gives you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. No? Who's got a peanut allergy? Anybody? Nobody. Good. All right. Awesome. You should have peanut shells on the floor. Let's say you did. Okay? Let's say you had a peanut allergy, and your friend gives you a peanut butter sandwich. You die. Deadly force?
Should they have known?
Say that again.
Should they have known?
Should they have known? Or
My
was
friend,
there intent? Intent? What do we mean when we say intent?
They intentionally do that.
Did they intentionally do that, right? What was their motivating factor in giving you the sandwich? Yeah? Now, if it was a person who didn't know you, they didn't know you at all, and they just gave you a peanut butter sandwich, it'd be pretty tough for us to say that the person had intent to hurt you, right?
Yeah.
But let's say it's your brother-in-law, and he totally knows you have a peanut allergy. We pull his Google search history, and it's, how do I kill a guy who has a peanut allergy, right? A year ago, you had a reaction, and you had to go to the hospital, and he drove you. He took you to the hospital, so he knows, right? And he finds out that you kind of screwed him on a little stock portfolio deal, and so it doesn't look good. Could we agree with that?
Oh yeah.
So do we have intent? Now I'm going to give you guys a little bit of opinion right now. This is PFC opinion. The word intent gets used legally all the time. This thing gets used constantly, and we hate that word. We hate it because it's inaccurate. So everybody get your pen, find a spot on your paper, and I need you to just write down the name of one person other than yourself whose intent you know.
Trick question.
There isn't one. So we don't know intent. We have a perception of intent. There's a perception. Okay? We never really know someone's intent. We can only perceive what their intent is. The greatest example of that is, who here's ever heard of somebody trying to rob a store with a toy gun? Who's ever heard of that? What was that guy's intent with the gun? What was his intent?
To intimidate.
Yeah. not to kill, because it could never kill, right? So for the person on the receiving end of that, you'd say, oh my God, I thought he was going to kill me. Yes, you perceived, but it wasn't his real intent. His real intent doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. If I go to my next door neighbor and I knock on his door and I say, listen to me, your kids keep coming over and they keep taking chalk and drawing hopscotch in my driveway. And you have no idea how much this pisses me off. And if your kids do it one more time, I swear to God, I'm going to back over them with my truck. Keep your kids out of my driveway. And then a month later, I back over his kids with my truck. Did I mean to do it? Of course not. I'm not a monster. But who thinks that it's not going to look good for me? Who thinks the neighbors are going to say, he said he was going to back over those kids, and he did it, right? The perception is